Standing front and center on your mat. And inhale, raising both hands up over your head. Exhale to fold down into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Exhale, walking yourself out into your plank and Chaturanga, keeping your elbows tight into your sides. In into your upward dog. And exhale into your downward dog. Raising your right heel all the way up behind you. Opening up at the hips, drop your right heel down towards your bum. And then stepping your right foot through in between your hands for a low lunge. Giving a little rock front and back. A little bounce up and down, a little wiggle in the fanny. Then you drop your back heel down to the ground at about a 45-degree angle. We're going to lengthen out through your spine and float up into your warrior one. Squaring off your hips to the front of the mat. Sinking your shoulders down away from your ears. Opening up into your warrior two, reaching both hands out in opposite directions. And taking the gaze over the ring finger of your front hand, and then driving that front knee forwards just a little bit deeper. Dropping your back hand to your back leg, reaching your top arm over your head behind you. And then on an exhale, bring your right elbow to your right knee, reaching your left arm up over your head and rolling your left shoulder blade back. And if this feels good, you can stay here. If you want to take it a step further, we're going to slide that right hand down to your inner thigh until your fingertips find the floor. If you want to take it even further, we're going to bring that left arm behind your lower back until you can find your hip crease. So you can roll your left shoulder blade up towards the sky. And then reach your right arm underneath and try and find those other fingertips to go for the bind. And if you want to come into bird of paradise, you step your left foot forwards and come up and float. And then try and straighten out your right leg as far as you can. Slowly lowering down your right foot back. Left foot comes down to the ground. Release the bind. And then both hands frame your front foot. Walk yourself out into your plank and Chaturanga, high to low push-up. Inhale into your upward dog and exhale into your downward dog. Raising your left heel all the way up behind you and then opening up at the hips, drop your left heel down towards the crown of your head. Stepping your left foot through in between your hands for a low lunge. Giving a little rock front and back. A little bounce up and down, a little wiggle. Drop your back heel down to the ground at about a 45-degree angle. Inhale, lengthen out through your spine and float all the way up into your warrior one. Opening up into your warrior two, reaching both hands out in opposite directions and taking the gaze over the ring finger of your left hand. From here, dropping your back hand to your back leg, reaching your top arm over your head behind you. And then transition, bring your left elbow to your left knee, reaching your right arm up over your head. And if this feels good, you can stay here. If you want to take it further, slide your left hand down to find the ground. If you want to go even further, we're going to wrap your right arm behind your back until you can find that left hip crease and reach your left arm underneath until you can find that finger. Go for the bind. And we'll step your right foot forwards and come all the way up into bird of paradise. So from here, we're keeping that right leg really strong and then try and straighten out your left leg as far as you can. Slowly release to come down. Walk yourself all the way back out. Both hands find the ground for your front foot. Walk yourself out to your plank. And Chaturanga. Inhale into your upward dog. And exhale into your downward dog. walk or jump forwards, back into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold down a little bit deeper. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Taking a big step out on your mat. So your feet are like comfortably wide apart, not dangerously wide apart. From here, we're going to reach both hands out in opposite directions. We're going to point your right toes towards the front of the mat. Taking the gaze over your right fingertips, we're going to reach that right arm forwards as far as you can until we naturally fold to come down into your triangle pose. So right hand can either rest on your shin or slide all the way down towards the mat. Whatever feels right for you is right for you. What we're going to focus on is rolling that left shoulder blade open towards the sky. Then breathe. Trying to maintain that length in your spine. And then whenever you're ready to come up, we're going to squeeze from the obliques. Come all the way back. Parallel your feet, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So left toes pointing towards the back of the room. And then reaching those left fingertips as far forwards as you can until you fold over at the waist. And slide that left hand down until your fingertips either find your shin or the ground. And you roll your right shoulder blade back so your heart looks up towards the sky. Maintain the length in your spine and breathing deep and even. And then whenever you're ready to come up, squeeze from the obliques. Back in your 4-point stance, we'll parallel your feet. Inhale, raising both hands up over your head. And then exhale to fold down into your forward fold. Wide angle forward fold. Maybe scooting your feet out a little bit further on either side and let your head hang down loose and relaxed. We're going to walk both hands over towards your right leg, coming onto your right ankle. And saying hi to your right knee. Hello, right knee. Haven't seen you in a minute. Say hi to your right toes. Coochie coochie. And then planting your left hand down on your right ankle, we're going to reach your right arm out to the side and spin open into a spinal twist. As you inhale, you create length through your spine. As you exhale, you twist just a little bit deeper and try to take the gaze up towards your right thumb. Slowly bringing that right hand down, we're going to walk both hands over towards your left side and give your left knee a little bit of love. Hello, left knee, left toes, you all are doing great. I love you just as much as the other side. Planting your right hand down into your left ankle. And maintain that length in your spine and reach your left arm up to the sky. As you inhale, your spine gets longer. As you exhale, you twist just a little bit deeper. Slowly bringing your left hand back down. Walk both hands to the side. One more time, shaking your head loose. We're going to slide your hands up your legs and interlace your fingers behind your back, pulling your knuckles up to the sky, and then over your head to open up your shoulder girdle, letting the weight of your arms be the force that opens up your shoulders. Making a super ray gun of happiness, we're going to shoot that ray of light up into the sky, and then leading with the heart, we're going to gently float all the way back up to standing, pulling your knuckles down to the ground behind you. Pigeon toe your feet back together. Inhale, raising both hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Now we're going to do some balancing work. So feeling the ground under your feet. Planting your left foot firmly down into the mat. I'm going to show you 3 variations for tree pose. You can either keep your right toes on the ground and press your left heel into your ankle with your knee out to the side. You can slide your foot to the arch of your calf, or you can bring your heel all the way up into your inner thigh. They're all good options. The only place where you don't want to put your foot is directly on the side of your knee. Once you find your tree pose, bring your hands into a prayer in front of your heart and breathe. As you inhale, you get a little bit taller. As you exhale, try to hollow out your belly so you're kind of like scooping up your tummy. Opening up the branches of your tree, sinking your shoulders down away from your ears. And then sending your right heel straight back behind you into your warrior three. So imagine that you're pushing that right heel straight against like a wall that's not there as you reach your fingertips out in front of you. And then whenever you're ready to come up, squeeze from the left hamstring to come all the way back to standing. And rainbow hands of sunshine go floating all around you. Because it's a beautiful world! Holy moly. Alright, same thing on the other side. So whichever variation of tree feels right for you, either heel on your ankle, arch of your foot on your calf, or heel all the way up into your inner thigh. And maybe one side is different than the other. Like, be gentle with yourself. Just observe the difference. Once you find your tree position, bring your hands into a prayer in front of your heart and breathe. Again, as you inhale, you get a little bit tall, and then as you exhale, scooping up through your tummy. So you're using as much of your lungs and your core while you're breathing as possible. Opening up the branches of your tree and sinking your shoulders down away from your ears. And then from here, sending your left foot straight back behind you for your warrior three. Whoa! Pushing that left heel straight back against the wall as you reach your fingertips forwards. And then leading with the heart, squeezing from the hamstring, coming all the way back up to standing. And glitter fingers of rainbow sunshine magic are floating all around you, and you sprinkle stardust all over the universe. Because we're in California. Coming back to stand front and center on your mat. You're going to inhale, raising both hands up over your head. Exhale to fold down into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen out through the crown of your head, flattening your back. Exhale, walk yourself out into your plank, and holding at the plank for a moment. So from here, we're going to plant your right hand in the center of the mat and roll over onto your side. So your feet can be stacked, or if that's hard, you can always plant your left foot on top. Now reach your left arm up to the sky. I'm going to make it really fun. Raise your left leg up too, like you're a shooting star, flying through outer space. 2 more breaths here. And slowly rolling back down into your high plank. And we're just going to go straight into the other side. So planting your left hand down into the center of the mat, rolling over onto your side, and taking whichever position of your feet feels right for you, and then raising your right arm up to the sky. And if you want to make it harder, float that right leg up. Two more breaths. Slowly floating back down. Coming onto your hands and knees, and all the way back into your child's pose. We'll rest for a moment. Curling under your toes, we'll come back into your downward facing dog. Raising your right heel all the way up behind you. Then float your right knee to your right elbow, hovering above the ground for a moment. Send it straight back up behind you. Float your right knee to your left elbow, crossing under your midline. Send it straight back up behind you. Bring your knee to your nose, try and give your knee a kiss. Send it straight back up behind you. And then folding your right leg through into Pigeon Pose. So right knee is kind of behind my right wrist. Right ankle is kind of behind my left wrist. And then I'll wiggle my left foot back until my hips are as close to the ground as they can be comfortably. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And then exhale, walking yourself down to let your forehead rest on the floor, or a pillow, or a block. And as you settle into this position, just seeing if you can observe what muscles are providing resistance, what feels tight. And imagine with each exhale that the muscle is softening and releasing. Whenever you're ready, we're going to slowly walk yourself all the way back up. Pausing for a moment at the top. Take a look over one shoulder. Gentle spinal twist. Take a look over the other. Curl under your back toes to come all the way back into your downward facing dog. Raising your left heel all the way up behind you. Floating your left knee to your left elbow, hovering above the ground for a moment. Send it straight back up behind you. Left knee to your right elbow, crossing under your midline. Send it straight back up behind you. Bring your knee to your nose. Try and give your knee a kiss. And then folding your left leg through into Pigeon Pose on the other side. So once you get that shin as level at the front of the mat as you can, gently walking that right foot back until your hips are as low down to the ground as possible. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale to fold down into your Pigeon Pose, letting your forehead rest on the floor or a pillow or a block, and just letting your body be as heavy as it can be in this position. With each exhaling breath, letting your body soften through any muscles that are providing resistance. Whenever you're ready, slowly walking yourself all the way back. Pausing for a moment at the top. Taking a look over one shoulder. Take a look over the other. Coming back to center. And then slowly rolling over onto your left cheek, bringing your right foot around in front of you. Oh, it's getting windy. So we're going to wrap up today's yoga because I'm getting notifications all over the place that my phone is about to die, and let's just end it here. If you like the video, hit subscribe. There'll be a lot more of these coming up, or sign up for my newsletter at nolanfit.com. Namaste.